stage is set. It is October 4th, 2025 at circa 10:15 p.m. Central Time. It is a very cold, emotionally, and bitter night in the city of Montgomery. These lights being off is perfect for the circumstance. I don't have any BGs. Got a little blister on my hand. What do I think about it? Good. I'll get closer. I really don't know how to. I don't know how to feel. I feel baseball. It's going fine. Baseball's baseball. Sometimes you struggle, but I do know that the days you struggle, you just get back to the drawing board. Times I haven't felt scared stepping into the box since maybe April. Actually, no, that's not true. July. Probably our last game of summer league. I wasn't necessarily scared. I just didn't have any confidence. But I'm stepping up to the plate every single time, like I'm the best baseball player in the world. But if we want to go back to what's been going on this week, I've been a little bit of a troublemaker in my classes. Monday we had study hall, and I was messing around with my teammates, having fun. And next day at practice, Coach Bush gets onto us because we have to be there in an extra hour because people's grades aren't that good and we're messing around in study hall. And what I have to say to that is, I don't care. I have all A's. Get your work done. It's not that hard. You're a grown man. Get it done. It's not anybody else's responsibility. I also would say on Tuesday, I was in class of my statistics class, and I was on my phone, took a picture of one of my teammates that was in there, and the teacher told me to put my phone down. It's like, hey, can you put your phone down? And I was like, whatever. We get our test back. I made a 98.5, highest grade in the class. Average was a 75, low was a 43. So what do I say to that? Oh well, I'm a grown man. I can get my stuff done. Wednesday, off day, show up to honors class 10 minutes late. I walk in, teacher looks at me. Class is all silent. I'm walking in, I say sorry. Teacher looks at me, she says, did you do the reading? I said, no. I know we had reading. She's like, you didn't know we had reading. So nobody in the class did the reading? Get out of my class. Get out of my face. So what did I do? I was the first one to leave. So what? I got a 98 in the class. Thursday. I don't think I did anything Thursday. I think I was fine. No, I definitely did something. I had class again. Class was fine. What was going on with baseball? It wasn't my best day of practice. We did a bunch of indie work and something just wasn't feeling off. Something wasn't feeling right. A little out of it. Whatever. Friday, I had one AB on the day, and I struck out on 3 pitches. It was fastball, high and in. I was late on it, and I got a curveball. I got a slider over the plate that I hit hard, fouled it down the right field line, and then slider, start it low, end it low, called strike with runner on first and second with no outs. So what? I'm a good baseball player. I would look back on this whole week and kind of see, I don't even know what I would think about it. Just, I wouldn't say I necessarily have went through adversity, more so like I've went through people and circumstances telling me that, hey, your attitude shouldn't result in positive outcomes, and I would disagree. Because a wise man once told me, you are who you are. And it's been a wild weekend. I stayed up all night last night. I went to sleep at 8 a.m. I was driving back to AUM. That's a whole story in itself. But there is a little bit of anxiety with this coming week and just finishing off the fall, because as much as I do believe in myself, but there's sometimes there's a plateau, and you get to the challenge of, man, maybe I'm not working. Maybe I'm working. I'm fine. I'm fine with what I'm working. I'll just stay consistent, and let's see what happens. But it's not right now. I don't feel guilty about not hitting anymore, like on my own as much. Baseball is a grind, but you do have to find time to make yourself better in anything you want to do and anything you want to accomplish. And so right now, probably about 10-20 hitting, because one, I love baseball, and two, this isn't about baseball. This is about who I am, and I guess let's get to it. Starting off, I will say I've been kind of thinking about this. I saw this on Instagram Reels, but it makes a lot of sense. So this one guy, if he loads like this, it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's like this, but ideally this, you want to turn along the same axis, which kind of is what I've been thinking about a lot with the barrel dropping. I can't find the slot in the zone. So stay here, stay along the same axis. Also, I've been struggling with keeping connection, like right here, and sometimes I like out the ball. So I guess if I was to stay along the same axis, I couldn't even do this, because I would just be going. I would be leaving the axis. I would be moving up instead of moving linearly. Baseball's a weird sport. We want to think geometrical. It is complex, but you do have to make it simple. But I'll get maybe 2 swings just to warm it back. Rolly, stay connected. Let's get to the hip and fire. Let's go one more. That's the adjustment now. It's also dark, but I'm not gonna make that excuse. It's a good ambiance. I've done everything else. I've opened up, closed off, fired the hip. So, the schedule has it where I'm just doing, just hitting. But let's do this one hand stuff. Let's do some hunger. Dead center. I can't say spin on the ball, but hopefully I'll just see ball fly and have the feel. Right center. Also, Bush has told me that I have to be like consistent with where my foot lands. However, if I'm thinking about that, I feel like I'm thinking too mechanically, especially when I'm hitting off machine, because when I'm hitting off the machine, it feels like game-like. So I'm not in there thinking about my swing. I'm thinking about the adjustment I need to make the next pitch, and also like wherever the ball's pitched, I think I'm just going to try and be athletic with my lower half. I reverse lunge 495 pounds. I'm going to be stable with whatever I do. I think baseball's just timing. Let's hover 2 hands. Perfect. Let's go 1 hand. Let's go bottom. That's how it always is. But that's the access thing that I'm kind of talking about. It's just, swing, big. So it's just like holding the access thing and holding and staying on that plane is going to help with connection. That's better. It felt more, that was not to say that's the adjustment, but that was like on top. Dang, this tee's pretty. There's another tee, so I'll be fine if anything happens. But now let's stay in this back hip and drive from the hip. Yes. I'm going to switch these. Now I'll go hover 2 hands. I'm not really too bothered about what happens with normal. Also, I tried to do the heel thing for timing. Then I had my worst day of hitting, but I'm not blaming it on that. It just happened to be like, that's the day I chose it, Hands drifted a little there. Kind of like, I don't need to move it too much. Also, I'm choked up because my freaking hand pushed up. This, and then this. Yeah. I haven't really been able to feel the kind of progression that I used to do. I feel like I just swing hard all the time now. So I'm not really progressing. I'm just probably swinging 80 to 100% every single time. So I know it's just a feel thing, but I don't know. I think what I really need to focus on, obviously stay in the back hip, use the legs. That's the foundation. But my main issue is kind of like the little things, because even when I'm still succeeding, I know the progress that needs to be made. So that's with the low upper half with connection and kind of staying on this plane. Here. Oh, that's on me. That's disappointing. Let's handle this inside pitch. Let's stay connected as long as I can. Yes. I'll stay connected as long as I can right here one more time. See if I still got it. Now, that was all right though. I was thinking connections and just hitting the ball. That'll be all right. A little on top, but that's the adjustment. I won't keep you guys waiting. Or, I say guys, but coach. Andrew Tudhill. That's my guy. One more. Set the ball as hard as I can. I want that sound. Everybody knows the sound. Hey, that's not the sound, but that's the angle. Ball's hit pretty hard. Old pal once told me, people say baseball's a metaphor for life, but life is a metaphor for baseball. And I think I'm on the latter end of that spectrum right now. I'm starting to live life a little bit more than I used to. I feel a little bit more independent than what I used to be. Living in an apartment instead of the dorms. I'm not on campus. I'm not in JUCO. I'm in university. I have to be responsible for myself. I've always been responsible for grades, and but I don't always have like my head coach watching over me. Like I don't think I have the best relationship with my coach right now. Just not in a bad way. I love that guy to death. Fight for him. I would fight for him every single day. But we're just not in season, and but I love my guys. I probably love my guys collectively more here than I have anywhere else. I want to know how those guys are doing. I'm checking. I check up on them. I love them to death. I want the best from them and everything, and it's not even from a baseball aspect anymore. Or I think in JUCO, you saw everything was related back to life. But here, sometimes, like, life is lived, but sometimes people don't bring that to baseball, and that's where failure and losses happen. Such as, people go out to drink, they have fun, they're hanging out with their buddies, which are the guys that they play baseball with, but they don't really necessarily bring that to practice. But in JUCO, people are staying in the dorms, they're having fun with their teammates, they're connecting. And then they go to baseball, and that's their life. But now, being a junior, I'm kind of going through the same thing that I felt like Mac Turner was going through when he was like, I know baseball can end. I know baseball's probably going to end in 2 years. Like, I do want to give it everything I got, but I also want to make those connections with my friends, my teammates, my family, with, certainly, like last but not least, Jesus Christ. I'm 21 now. I've got to grow up. My prefrontal cortex is not yet fully developed, but sometimes I'm concerned that if it is, I still act childish, and I still act like I'm 18. And I'm having the time of my life. But I love that about me, and I know others love that about me too, but I take that I don't take that in my work, I treat it like it's life or death, and it's the World Series every single day. And right now, this was my World Series. Not necessarily the hitting, not necessarily hitting off the tee, not figuring it out. It was kind of, I guess it was showing up, and it was kind of video journaling what I've been going through, what I've been thinking. I certainly do have a gratitude about life. It's family, friends, the connections I make every single day with whether it's new people. Like, went out to the bar yesterday. I didn't drink. I hate drinking. I hate bars. But I was sitting in the corner, and some soccer player from UAB came up to me, and he's like, baseball? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, guess what I am? I'm like, soccer? He's like, yeah. Guy was from Brazil, but it was cool to make that connection with him. But I don't know who said it, but like, life isn't supposed to be, life's supposed to be lived. Like, you're not supposed to just, live in your thoughts and that's stream of consciousness. I wasn't going anywhere with that. Nobody said that, but somewhere, I don't know what I was gonna say, but I guess I'll sign out. I'm not gonna edit this. This is this is just who I am. Hopefully I can look back on this in a year and be like, man, look how much I've grown. Look how much look who I am now. But I love this place. I love AUM. Love AUM baseball. I love getting to be the best version of myself every single day. Even when I do make mistakes, I learn from them and I grow from it. Life is to be lived, to make mistakes, so we can get better. And life's not to be feared. Life's to be lived out courageously, which that's kind of redundant to say, considering courage is not the lack of fear, but the presence of fear and still overcoming and pushing through even when you are scared. Sometimes life is scary, and but I think that's the fun in it. Why would life be fun if there was no challenge and there was no fear and there's nothing bad that ever happens to you, because there's no growth in the easy life. Easy times are, it's like, I don't know what the exact saying is, but it's like, easy times create, I think this is it. Easy times create weak men create, I don't even know where it goes. Pretty much, like, it's just a cycle, and that's the process of life. But that's it. All right. Peace.